Welcome back to Hot Water Wrestling, everybody, and wow, what a pay-per-view Money in the Bank was. Thumbs up to WWE for really putting on an excellent pay-per-view. First really awesome pay-per-view I've seen in quite some time from the company. My expectations were actually exceeded this time, and congratulations to CM Punk and Christian for both going home with the gold. And I'll start at the top of the card. I believe the first match was the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. The match did feel a little rushed this year. Both the Raw and the SmackDown's one felt rushed this year. I felt they could have done a lot more with the high flyers in the match. It was strange seeing Sin Cara taken off on a stretcher so early in the matchup. I felt that this is the area he needs to shine in, or this is built for him, This is built for high flyers. Money in the Bank is a high flyer, match, high flyer friendly match, and they should have showcased Sin Cara to the world, and instead they took him off on a stretcher, so kind of felt strange to me. But the positive is that Brian Danielson, Brian Danielson won Money in the Bank, and I know people who watch my channel saw I made that video. Is Daniel Bryan the new Jamie Noble? Well, this is a step in the right direction of not being the next Jamie Noble. So congratulations to Brian Danielson, and I hope that he cashes that sucker in and wins. Next was a Mark Henry versus Big Show match. It was what I expected. It wasn't a great match, and then it abruptly ended in a very strange way, I thought. Maybe it was just me, but I thought the match had a very odd ending. It had an odd pacing, and it had an odd ending. And then the aftermath was even weirder. And I got to thinking, did Big Show accidentally hurt himself? Did Sin Cara accidentally hurt himself? I go, what the heck's going on tonight? Strange match, but it was, mildly entertaining. I wasn't there to see that match necessarily, but I just felt it had a weird ending. And I hope Big Show's okay. Anyways, next is the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. Another ladder match that felt rushed. And once again, I felt they neglected, guys like Evan Bourne and Rey Mysterio in the match. Money in the Bank is a platform for these guys to shine, and a platform they can always do more in, and they just didn't do that tonight. But what we didn't know is that they were leading up to two top shelf matches in Randy Orton versus Christian and John Cena versus CM Punk, which made up for the rushed ladder matches that were still entertaining. It's good Alberto Del Rio got the Money in the Bank briefcase. I felt he was going to be he was kind of my favorite in the match to take it. So it's great that they haven't slowed his push down, and he'll be in the title picture here. So I get to Orton versus Christian. Thought this was a really good match. One of the reasons why is something I've been saying for a while, is that they rush everything in WWE. I know that word's coming up a lot, but they rush everything in WWE. And this feud between Orton and Christian, they've taken their time with more. They've developed it. They've built it up. And we had a great climax tonight. Although I thought the finisher in the match was a little odd, the aftermath, what happened afterwards, completely made up for it. Randy Orton went completely psycho. And, is it just me, or is the crowd kind of confused as to who to root for? Because Randy Orton's not exactly acting like a face. Christian wants to come off as a heel. I think, Christian is the sentimental favorite, and I think the crowd's going to root for him. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a babyface heel switch here on the two of these guys. Who knows? But that's the best match you're going to get out of Randy Orton, I think. I don't know how he's going to put on a better match this year. He might. But, excuse me, I had to have a sip of water there. It was a crazy pay-per-view. But a highly entertaining match, and I really enjoyed it. Next is John Cena versus CM Punk. Yes. What else can I say but a wonderfully, beautifully built-up match here. that involved Vince McMahon. Felt like an old school Raw angle, like an Attitude Era Raw angle, if you don't mind me saying. And just like the Orton's Christian match, you're not going to see a better match out of Cena. Cena was pushed to the limit. People say he doesn't have skills. He's not adequate in the ring. Well, tonight he just stayed and hung in there with CM Punk, and I was proud of him for showing some diversity in his character. I'm not as hard on Cena as some people, but he's not one of my favorites. CM Punk, however, is one of my favorites, and to see him hold up the championship gold was just a marvelous feeling, I have to say. So, big hand to CM Punk, big hand to John Cena, big hand to Vince McMahon, big hand to WWE for putting on an excellent pay-per-view in Money in the Bank. And I'm sorry I did not review the Diva match tonight. I did see it, but I had a few things I had to do, personal things around the house, so I was kind of doing that while that match was happening, because you know what? It's not interesting. Give me an interesting Diva match and I'll watch it. Amazing Kong, Awesome Kong, Karma, is that her name? I hope she finally comes back and has that feud with Beth Phoenix, but until then, it's just really not that interesting. But Money in the Bank was a good pay-per-view, and I highly recommend that you seek it out and see it. It's worth your time, and hopefully this builds into an amazing SummerSlam. Now we're going to throw The Rock in the mix. This makes things very interesting, doesn't it? So we'll see where it takes us from here. The next few days should be awesome. Raw should be awesome, and I'll see you guys next time on Hot Water Wrestling.